What's going on, everybody? BD Anthony here. Last night I watched two thrillers, and the first one I watched was The Fan, which stars Lauren Bacall, James Gardner, Maureen Stapleton, Hector Elizondo, and Michael Biehn in his first major role. And this movie is about Michael Biehn plays as obsessive fan of Lauren Bacall's character, and he starts writing love letters to her, and when she doesn't reciprocate, he becomes violent, and because of that, he starts hurting people around her just to get to her. Very creepy film, and I gotta say, I think this should have been Michael Biehn's breakthrough role, not Terminator, even though he was pretty good in that. But I honestly think and also this is his underrated work. I like Michael Biehn, period, and it was really good to see him in the episode of The Mandalorian. Very creepy movie. Check this one out. And another one I watched was Play Misty for Me, which stars Clint Eastwood and Jessica Walter. And also, this was Clint Eastwood's directorial debut. And this movie is about Clint Eastwood plays as a disc jockey who goes to his favorite night spot, and he ends up picking up a woman played by Jessica Walter, who happens to be an obsessed fan. And they started a relationship, and when Clint Eastwood's character wants to end the relationship, Jessica Walter's character starts stalking him, and she becomes very violent, hurting people around him, starting to ruin his life. And he tries so much just to get out of that situation. Another creepy film. And this is also how Jessica Walter became famous. God rest her soul, which she died about a month ago. I've seen her in other stuff like Law & Order SVU and episode of NCIS, but I gotta say, she did an excellent job in this movie, playing the messed up obsessive fan. Bravo for her, and also bravo for Clint Eastwood's directorial debut. He always wanted to be a director, and he got a sponsored from Don Siegel, who directed some of his movies like The Beguiled and my favorite Clint Eastwood role in The Dirty Harry. If it weren't for this movie, Clint Eastwood would only just be a great actor. And I watch these particular movies because it has to do with stalking. And I also think, I know stalking was invented, but I honestly think ever since this movie came out, it started to become more common. Stalking, it is no laughing matter. You can't joke around when it comes to stalking. And that's kind of the sucky part about being very popular or being celebrity or being anything, because you're gonna get an obsessive person or an obsessive fan who won't stop bugging you. And back then, when we didn't have social media, I think that was pretty hard. But now with social media, there's people stalking you on social media. And the easy thing when it comes to social media stalking, you could just block that person. Simple as that. Back then, there was no social media. Even famous people stalk other famous people. Like, for example, Sean Young and James Woods when he ended the relationship with her. I won't go into details, but it's kind of like the same thing with the movie Play Misty for me. That's kind of being a famous person is cool, but the sucky part is you're gonna possibly get stalked by a very obsessive fan. And these are the movies I watched. I highly recommend you guys watch these films. Have a good day, everybody.